Chapter 2. 9 little sailor boys sat up very late. One overslept himself, and then there were 8.
Filthy night. I tried to go out to get some more wood for the fire, but the wind drove me back.
A storm like that will keep us all indoors.
My apologies for the accommodations, Mr. Narracott, but all the beds are taken.
Makes one wonder where the Owens were planning to sleep, doesn't it?
A good servant follows instructions, sir. He does not question his employer, unless you'd like to share the deceased's room with the corpse.
This will do fine. Thank you, Rogers.
Yeah.
I'll wish you a good night then, sir.
Real hard decision. Share a room with a
Everyone should be
corpse,
sound asleep
or
by now.
sleep on the
Good
couch.
time for a little stealth work.
I would do the same thing. Sleep on the damn couch. Alright. Now you can take the light bulbs out of the gramophone and put them in here, turn it on and off,
But it still doesn't seem to be working.
but it doesn't do anything as of right now. It'll still just say, has power, but it's not working. Okay, let's see what I can do in here.
It's too dark to move around in there without stumbling.
Now we need to find a light source. Now we've got a flashlight and a desk lamp. Well, the desk lamp isn't going to be very good for moving things around.
Those don't work together. Seems so obvious in retrospect.
You put those together, obviously, and put
Those don't work together.
pipe, pouch of tobacco.
There. Back to their original state.
Move things out.
Those don't work together.
I think you also have to do things in certain
I can't get
order.
them to fit.
No.
I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
Pouch. Okay.
Fresh flowers. Quite pretty.
Shed some light. Didn't one of those cards say something about that?
I copied the contents into my notebook. This could use a closer look.
Okay, that's that.
This bears a closer look.
Okay, saw that already.
This could use a closer look. Normally, I would never violate someone's privacy this way. However, given the circumstances, I will examine the entries for clues and transcribe any passages I find pertinent. I transcribe the pertinent passages in my notebook.
Alright, let's see what I can do with this.
Nothing a little elbow grease can't undo. Et voilà.
Okay, so you can take things apart, put them back together, as you just saw. Let's see.
I'll need to wait until the weather lets up a bit.
Alright. Again, you can look at the art, radiator, nothing to see there. Okay. Here we can see one of the little figures was broken off at the knees. Okay. Actually... Nope, no candles there. I was thinking maybe you could grab the matches. Okay.
It's a full sack of flour.
If I'm remembering right. Let's see here. Scoop.
Some things once done cannot be undone. They don't get along.
Okay.
It's a full sack of flour.
Grab a couple of
There are some batteries
scoops.
buried under here.
And you get the batteries. And what you can do with that is put them in the flashlight, and
Let's
there
hope
we go.
that holds.
Which gives us the ability to go into here. Let's see different rooms.
Whoever it is, please leave us. My wife needs her rest.
Sorry about that, Rogers.
Not at all.
Okay. Go up here. Now, bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to save the game. Okay. Now up here, not much to do. Okay, where's my map? There it is. Okay, so... Okay, now you can go into Marston's room. And yeah.
The body was thoroughly searched. No need to disturb it now.
Okay.
I see nothing remarkable.
Trying to remember. Okay. Yeah, definitely don't want to do any disturbing there. Okay. Let's go back in here. I don't know how that wouldn't wake anybody up. Somebody tries to come into my bedroom at night, and yeah, I would definitely wake up. Okay. So, where... Currently trying to do the game without hints. I don't know why we don't just use the flashlight down here and make things a little easier.
It won't help my brother if I'm drowned in the storm.
Yeah. Okay. So, the entrance, the parlor is this way, the dining room's that way. Now something else you can do, although you can't use it right now, you can examine
This
this.
a closer look.
First side says
I wonder what's
hello.
recorded on
Oop.
this side.
Didn't mean to grab that.
Nothing else to see about that.
Basically, it flips over and there's a goodbye message on the other side. I can't play it right now because obviously you don't want to wake everybody up. Okay, so I'm going to use the tape.
Some things once done
Oh,
cannot be
excuse me.
undone.
Where's that flower? Oh, right. Marston's glass is right there.
They don't get along.
That's
I
what we're
can't
going
take
to
that
eventually need to do is dust the thing for fingerprints and go through everybody's room trying to find things that had their fingerprints on them. Marston's case, the general's picture frame, things like that.
It's a book holder. Seems like a long time since it's been used. I won't do that. That isn't going to help.
Okay.
I don't think that's appropriate.
Okay, no gear, no gear. This
Let me
is
examine this further.
a map of the island. So we're right here. We'll be able to explore a bit more thoroughly as soon as we're done with this chapter. Well, not necessarily chapter. Okay. Got an ink pad and a stamp.
I can't get them to fit.
Okay. Can't do anything there. What's that? There's something written here. It's not very clear. See, this is where the flashlight would come in handy. I want to say that's with Rogers. It might be a hint, it might not be. Not sure. Okay, nothing else of interest here. You can pick the books up again, but they really don't do anything.
Boxes. Nothing of use in them.
Yeah, like I said before, boxes, you can't do anything with them. Alright. Okay, sorry, had a little bit of a recording issue. My software stopped. Basically, I just went through the inventory and took Vera's letter of invitation and copied it in there. Okay, just gonna go through a couple more things. Oh, code-breaking cipher.
This bears a closer look.
King James, King Solomon II. Okay, so
They don't get along.
okay, they don't
I
get
can't
along.
take that apart. This bears a closer look.
Okay. Okay.
I'm afraid it's stuck that way.
Yeah, some things, if they don't come apart or go back together, he'll say, yeah, it's stuck that way.
Some things, once done, cannot be undone.
Okay.
I can't take that apart.
Okay. Alright, let's do some more investigating here. Must be something I'm missing. Okay, since we're over here, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the Record on the gramophone.
That doesn't make sense.
Aha, there we
I'm
go.
pleased to see at least one of you has thought to turn the record over. Any good house party should include party games. This weekend is no exception. I have devised several
Now, I know I said
games of
earlier
the
that
mind
it
to
won't
challenge
play,
your
but I think I
wits,
figured out
and
why.
hope you find
I
the
never clicked
rewards for
on
each
that
try
part.
worth the effort. You'll have to discover my little amusements on your own, however. I've scattered them all over this delightful island retreat. I hope that you will find them suitably entertaining.
Uh-huh. Alright, that's all we'll need with that. So we get those light bulbs. Okay. That's all we can do down here. Now, let's see here. Honestly, I don't know why.
He's as tight as an owl. I expect nothing could wake him up.
Like I said,
Locked.
yeah. Be careful. I don't believe you get in trouble for, you know, rattling the door knobs. But right, I gotta orient myself. Where am I? Okay. I'm right here. Okay. Okay, so I want to go that way, that way, that way. Okay, we're gonna leave that one alone. Okay. I think the only other people we can look at are, again, the general. So at this point, I'm just trying to see if I can get anything to trigger, like a cutscene or a hint for the next stage. Let's take a look here. I think I can go in here.
It's tightly locked.
Okay. I gotta orient myself again. Okay. So this is the hallway here. Okay. Should be.
It's locked fast.
Okay, where am I?
Morning is coming. I'd best get back to my bed.
Okay.
Well, I didn't get much rest, but at least I have something to show for it. I'd best see if everyone has come down for breakfast.
Alright, let's head into... I went the wrong way. Like I said, some ways you can get easily turned around.
Locked.
Still locked, okay. Wait a minute. Did I miss something right there? I did.
Interesting ashtray.
Oh.
Birds everywhere.
Yeah. They have the crazy cat lady, they also have the crazy bird man. Alright.
If what Narracott told Vera is true, and mind you, I take anything he says with a grain of salt, then they will not be sending a boat until at least Monday, even if the storm clears.
Wise to remember, Narracott's the odd man out here.
Yes, thanks to you, I believe, Blore.
At least nothing else has occurred.
I hope you are correct, Miss
Can we
Claythorne.
say, oh, you're
However,
jinxing
I feel
us?
compelled to draw your attention to this table's centerpiece.
Now two are broken. How odd.
Ah, Mr. Narracott, good morning. Since Mr. Marsden won't be joining us, there is an extra place for breakfast, although breakfast itself seems to be a trifle behind schedule.
I'm afraid there is no breakfast at present. Mrs. Rogers has not been able to carry on this morning.
What's the matter with the woman? I was promised fresh apple juice this morning.
I must tell you a sad piece of news. Mrs. Rogers died in her sleep.
Oh dear.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
She was a very skittish creature. And she had a shock last night. It might have been heart failure.
Her heart certainly failed to beat. What caused it to fail is the question.
Did you hear anything in the night?
No, my sleep was quite restful.
Thank you for your time, Miss Claythorne.
Now see, there are some differences. If I had rattled her doorknob, she may have said, oh yeah, somebody rattled
Any
my
theories
doorknob.
about Mrs. Rogers' death, Judge?
I'm afraid it confirms my opinion that there is something very wrong on this island. It occurs to me that if these two deaths were not suicides or accidents, that Mr. Owen may very well be responsible. If so, he is almost certainly on this island somewhere.
I agree. I think we should find a way off this island immediately.
Did you hear anything in the night?
I confess I slept fitfully. Marsden's death, the storm, but I heard nothing. Possibly also due to the storm.
Understandable, Judge. Quite understandable.
Mr. Narracott, can your boat be repaired?
I doubt very seriously it can be repaired. Mr. Blore did a good job.
Steady on. I didn't know then how the land lay, did I?
So you say.
If you find a means of leaving the island or of signaling the mainland, I'm sure we would all be in your debt.
And I'm sure all of us would help in any way we could.
Here. We're never going to leave the island. None of us are ever going to leave.
What were you hinting at concerning Marston's politics?
Only that he'd become mixed up with some foreigners. I think that's all I'd better say at present.
I appreciate your candor, Judge.
Okay.
What was the cause of death?
Impossible to say offhand.
There must be an autopsy.
I certainly couldn't give a certificate without one.
When did you find out?
Rogers roused me at first light. He'd gotten up to light the stove and see to the power generator before waking her. When she didn't respond, he got me.
Can you tell when she died?
Without an autopsy, not for certain, but it must have been some hours ago. The body was, quite cold.
Did you hear anything in the night?
No, although it appears I should have.
If you'll excuse me, Doctor.
Okay.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
We know that she consumed something last night. Dr. Armstrong told us so.
I, Mr. Lombard?
You gave her a sedative.
A small dose of trial, nothing more.
Doctors have made mistakes before.
You're suggesting I accidentally gave Mrs. Rogers an overdose?
Accidentally or otherwise. One death may have been an accident or suicide, but two in the space of a few hours?
Simply outrageous, man of my standing.
Any more questions, Mr. Narracott?
Did you hear anything in the night?
I'm a very light sleeper. In future, I hope everyone will bear that in mind. Yes, several times I heard something.
You didn't investigate?
With a judge, a detective, and an amateur sleuth in the house, you hardly need my poor skills in that line. I prefer to keep watch.
The hunter in his blind?
A good analogy, Judge.
You said you recognized Owen's voice.
I've had time to think it over, and I'm sure I did. I see no reason to share that information with you.
Good day to you, Mr. Lombard.
Yeah, I'm the one trying to figure out everything, and yeah, you don't want to give me the information.
Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
Conscience.
What do you mean by that?
She was accused, together with her husband, of having deliberately murdered her former employer, an old lady. You all saw her last night. She broke down completely. The shock of her wickedness brought home to her was too much to bear. She literally died of fear.
Possibly, if there was cardiac weakness.
Call it, if you prefer, an act of God.
I won't take up any more of your time, Miss Brent. Any theories about Mrs. Rogers' death?
I'm sure Mrs. Rogers wasn't to blame. A good, loyal woman.
Did you hear anything in the night?
I thought I heard a voice calling my name. My wife, she died several years ago. I expect it was a dream.
General, you said you thought you recognized Lombard.
Did I? Yes, I expect I did. But I fail to see what business it might be of yours.
I am indebted to you for your help, General Mackenzie. You're a detective, Mr. Bloor. Any theories?
I appreciate you recognizing the fact there's a professional present. I'd like to know what she had to eat or drink last night before she collapsed.
Rogers assures me she had nothing whatsoever.
Of course he would say that. But see here. They've done a murder and gotten away with it. Now she's all hysterical, likely to give the show away. She's a danger to her husband. That's what she is.
Oh, I should hardly think a man would do that to his wife.
You said you knew something about the history of this island.
Most of the old stuff can be found in the library. Its more recent history is just as interesting, though. But I'm not inclined to divulge that just yet.
That'll do, Mr. Bloor.